thought I would do one of the walking ones in here. I did over a half hour on Facebook pretty much just now, but it was really slow. And I'm like, man, as much as I run into problems with the screen turning dark and disconnections, I'm like, let me see if I can get one of these to work out here. Although I'm unhappy, I'm seeing it drop to 1 bar. Let me see if I can get to a better area. And hopefully this stays connected. Again, tends to be problematic. And I don't have these problems with Facebook. It is purely YouTube that has these problems, by the way. So they need a higher latency of stream, apparently. Plus their screen is darker. So it's like if my phone screen turns a little dark on Facebook, I can still read all the questions. On here, it turns it dark enough because of the background, you can't read the questions anymore. So their mobile version needs some work, right? It definitely needs some work. But I'm gonna give it a try. We're gonna see if we can make it work. We've had pretty good streams on the big ones on the bike the last couple days, but I'm not ready to go in and get on the bike yet. Right? I'm not ready to go get on the bike. So I'm gonna try to get one done out here. I'm gonna hope we can keep a decent connection. Hope I can continue to see the screen. I think as long as we stay in enough shade like that, we're probably okay. That was pretty reasonable. We're getting viewers in here though, but nobody's commenting or liking yet. So I'm just gonna run with it though, right? And obviously I'll do one of these inside on the bike here in a bit. No whoosh today. Got kind of some stuff in my diet. I probably ate too much peanut butter. I kind of put all of it away. It's making me push my calories too high. I may not have been in a real deficit for a couple of the days, but that's okay. We also were not in a surplus. Training is really good though now. No inflammation really happening. So going to make sure though that we're back in a strong deficit again for a bit and get that scale moving back down. All right, so we get a nice whoosh by hopefully the weekend. Because yeah, haven't gone under 211, and I've been at 211 since the weekend. I think was it Sunday maybe, or was it Monday? I'm not sure where I hit it, but I haven't budged under that at all. Right. So again, make sure that plugged. But I've also bumped salt. I also had a creatine back in. I might have lost because of the water. I have no idea how many steps I average because it's not all walking, and it's a mix of bike riding. It's a mix of walking. So Jacob, I can tell you what I focus on. A minimum 2 hours on training days of fasted cardio, and we shoot for 3 hours of fasted cardio on non-training days. That's my total numbers. I don't have any other numbers for you. Is that fair? I think I plugged it in somewhere and it said at the rate I walk, it's probably 8,000 steps per hour, but my number of hours varies day to day. One day it might only be 45 minutes of walking, another it's over 2 hours. And there's still going to be at least an hour on the bike. So, but right now I'm doing 100% of the cardio fasted. All my training on cardio is fasted. I don't eat before noon. So I'm doing 18-6 intermittent fasting. Hit that like button though, guys. We're getting views. We're getting views, just not seeing likes yet. So see if we can correct that. So we're gonna get at least a short one of these in here, assuming we can keep a connection. And then I'll shower, get some more coffee in me, and then we'll get on the bike here later. But I'm hoping this connection holds strong. It's after 8 o'clock. This has started happening earlier and earlier to where the tower is not liking it. But I'll know here shortly. So hopefully it'll hold out strong. Like I said, the views are really good for this early. We're just not getting a lot of engagement yet. But yeah, the bike ones tend to be the real money. So what do you guys have going? You guys will see the vlog here later. I found the lower body just was a problem. Like, I removed all the axial stuff for today because I went to deadlift and I just couldn't. So I'm like, well, we're gonna do a bunch of reverse hypers and traction exercises. Nothing that loads the spine today. Because we've been loading the spine heavy. We every single workout, I do a squat or a deadlift, and then I do calf raises. So today I had to chill with that. But it's also fourth full body in a row. Yeah, I went to try to deadlift, and my warm-up rep felt like 550, and it was 405. I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna work today. But I had good squats yesterday. Appreciate it, Peppermint. So, but you guys will see the vlog. So again, I just went really hard on arms and pecs, which I think I need to do. I'm gonna just keep hammering dips. I feel like dips, they just light my chest and triceps up so much. And when I'm looking at some of the angles, I'm like, I can already tell, especially when I'm stepping off the bench with my dips, my overall just thickness of everything. It's like, once I get leaner, I'm gonna be in a good spot. But I just gotta get a hell of a lot leaner still, you know? But yeah, I'm realizing, just due to my proportions and stuff, the arms don't always look that big till I get in those certain angles. And I'm like, yeah, once the waist is really small, it's gonna be a game changer. So we just have to keep losing fat. Fasted cardio, clean eating, cut. Right? So we're in a good spot there. But yeah, I'm gonna really double down a lot on the dips. I've had no drops this week, OJC. I have not dropped under 211 the entire week. So we're seeing no change. But again, kind of my fault. I'm probably nibbling too much extra peanut butter, so I haven't opened the last jar and I put it away. So I'm gonna tighten up those calories and stay on top of the cardio. But I also have to remember, I may have still been in a deficit, and I probably was, but I also bumped more salts in because of the sweating, and I added creatine this week. I broke out my tub of creatine, and I actually bought another tub. So that may be stopping the whoosh. So I'm gonna give it a couple days. I'm gonna give it through the weekend, and I bet the scale will come down some, right? Yeah, I've been looking at your page. You got some crazy back, to be honest. Respect, thank you. You know, the funny thing, Jacob, do you know how much people hate all my back training? Do you know video after video after video for years, everyone tells me how horrible my back training is. I don't know how to do any back work. They're like, your lats are never gonna grow with the way you train them. Do you know how often I hear that? On a daily basis, people tell me I don't know how to do pull-ups and I don't know how to do rows and that my lats are not working at all. But then look at my back. I'm like, but my back gets bigger every single year. And I feel my lats on all those exercises, the exercises people tell me are not working my lats literally cramp sometimes 10 seconds after I finish a set. The lats sometimes cramp so bad that I've got to stretch them back out because I can't even move sometimes, but they're not working. You know, people are funny. Morning, how you doing, Grunt? Coach has a power back. Although I did chins today, and I went chin over the bar. And I try to tell that to people, like, guys, the only way I can get my chest to a bar is at certain angles, and if I swing all the way over. Like, I cannot do it on I can't do it on a lat pull down. So it's funny, they're like, well, quit adding weight. And I'm like, I can't do it with a lat pull down with 5 pounds. I can't touch my chest on an incline bench with less than a full plate. I physically cannot touch my chest. I don't have the ability with an empty bar. So I think they're forgetting that. So my lats are hard working. It's all as far as they go. But with chins, I can get up over the bar. So I did my weighted chins today. If I use a really close grip, I can get over the bar. But I have to swing all the way around. Like, I can't do it in a straight line. You know, and the lats disengage for me when I do that. I don't feel any lat. Like none, 0 at the top. Real good idea. I do all my walking live either on Facebook. I've been doing an hour a day in Facebook, but it's really slow there at the moment with it. So I came over to finish this walk. I already did 30 minutes there. I came in, I'm like, I'm gonna finish this walk in here and then I'll get on the bike later and I'll give you guys a proper bike live on here like I do every day too. But yeah, but I did do chins today. I did weighted chins, but I have to do really close grip to get that top range of motion, which is really all biceps. Like, I don't feel any back up there, like none, 0. Do upside down holds with the chin. What are you talking about? Mobility work doesn't improve anything for my shoulders, so I don't know what you're arguing about. I've never had any benefit in my life from any type of mobility work. All it does is make me hurt. Um, there you go, Peppermint. You got the crown. Just like for me, if I want better hip mobility, I just do pause squats with a weight. All right, done. And then it lets me, if anytime I'm losing a little bit of hip mobility, I just start doing really deep pause squats, and it fixes it in a week. So, yeah. But all the research says the same thing. I mean, that stretching doesn't do anything compared to weightlifting. Like weightlifting full range of motion gives you 100% of the benefits that stretching does in terms of improving range of motion. That's meta-analysis. How much weight do you add for what? For my chins, I do 45. I mean, I'm able to do more, but if I'm trying to go all the way high, the full thing, I don't try to do more than 45 for work sets, you know, because that's relatively hard. And that's really all bicep. Like that's nothing but an arm exercise for me at the top. So I don't feel any back up there, like zero. Like I feel like my lats just go slack. So I only feel them in the bottom half of any sort of pull-up or chin-up. But they pump like crazy at the bottom for me. But again, look at the size of my back, it clearly works. And I try to tell that to people, you have to know your biomechanics. But no, I did do them all the way chin over the bar today because it was close grip chin-ups. But pull-ups, I can't do that, and I don't have to, it's not necessary. I build a crazy wide V-taper doing it the way I do it. But people always tell me saying like your rows are wrong too, and then they see my back and I'm like, okay guys, whatever. How much weight do you weigh now? What's the lightest weight you will go down to? Rich, I'm at 211. I'm gonna go under 200, and I don't know how light. I might go as light as 190, but I'm down to 211 right now on the cut. Coach, do you have a good mind muscle connection in your back? Yeah. And that's what guys, people are always like, your rows are wrong, but I'm like, but I feel my lats. Like and I've said that before, they're like, why do your lats grow so big? I'm like, part of it is because I'm able to find the form for me that stimulates them on all my rows and pull-ups. To keep stimulating fast twitch muscle fibers, how much in between sets of a compound? Like 3 minutes, right? That's what the data shows. You'd be sick at, all right, I think so, but we'll see. I don't have a set number, I have a set look. And I'm not worried about the scale. That's why I said it early in the cut, I'm gonna go to 200 and assess. At 211, I can already tell that 200 is not gonna be lean enough. So we don't wanna set scale numbers, we're setting looks, right? Like I know where my waistline needs to be. And I don't care if I'm 205 or 185. I just need to get it there. Like, so we're not gonna set a scale number. We just cut until we're at the look that we want, you know, and it lands where it lands. Yeah, the lower back fat is definitely coming down. It still has a long way to go, but it's coming down. I'm pushing to achieve a 155 pound pull-up. Do you think that's too much? I have no idea, man. I don't know your genetics. I don't know your body weight. I don't know your strength. So I can't tell you if that's too much. It has been done by other people. So humans have done it or more. So it may not be too much. But always remember, when you're pursuing really crazy strength, you got to ask how much drugs you're willing to do. Force reps build the most hypertrophy. No, force reps don't build any hypertrophy. Sorry. Look at the muscle fiber recruitment model. The only way force reps are going to put muscle on you is if you're a complete novice or you just increase your drug dose. So if you've been cruising or you're off cycle and you go on a new steroid cycle and add new drugs at higher doses, they'll probably help a little bit. But if you're at hormonal homeostasis and you've been training there for several months, at whatever drug dose you're at, whether it's 0 or 1,000 milligrams, right? I don't care which one. If you've been there for 3 months, you're not going to get any growth from a force rep or rest pause or any of that. Loose skin tightening after sustain. It's slowly getting tighter, Husman. I mean, it's tighter than a year ago. Remember a while back I showed the old pictures, and it is actually tighter since then. even at a slightly heavier body weight it was. So we're just going to keep getting leaner. I don't do. Well, as far as injuries go, pay attention to your body. Don't have overuse. Be careful of what you do. If you want to keep injuries low, you need to rotate those pull-up variations, right? And keep building everything. So, you know, stuff you got to think about. You have many Greek fans, Jason. Cool. I mean, I've got a lot of fans over in various parts of Europe. I'm surprised. Like, I actually, yeah, in fact, I can, now that I think about it, I do have plenty of Greek fans. I see Greek names even on my Facebook. I have a decent number just Mediterranean in general. Like, I've had an Italian client literally in Italy, you know. So yeah, I get a lot of other fellow Slavs and stuff because they see the name and they're like, oh yeah, we have to follow him. So, you know, geez. Jay, who's Jay? Hey, Lively, you know the rule. Don't drop first names. First names mean nothing to me. People do that. Greg, Jay, James, Jonathan. I'm like, you got to give me a full name and a qualifier, because I still may not know who you are. So if you mean Jay, you have to be like Jay Cutler, the former Mr. Olympia. Okay, thank you. Well, you guessed Jay Cutler was on gear. I want you to step back and think about that statement for a moment. You're going to feel really silly. Jay Cutler won the Mr. Olympia multiple times. To make a statement like he was on gear would be an understatement. That would be an understatement. For someone to be a Mr. Olympia, they have to be on 55-gallon drums of steroids, and they have to be genetically freaks. They have to be a genetic freak on top of it. So, now, does that mean that his training was necessarily wrong? No, his training worked really great with his drugs and genetics, obviously, clearly. Marcinio, I did a plus 220 pull-up at 210, and I'm average terms of strength. I'm sure it can be done. Yeah, I mean, I've done over 100 pounds on them. And a gym I visited in Athens, they had a post review next to really, oh my God, next to the grill, oh my God. Well, you know what? I'll take the compliment. That's like saying, I guess Michael Jackson did a moonwalk, right? Exactly. You guessed Jay was on some gear. He won the Mr. Olympia a couple times. Yeah, that's an understatement. That's like saying, I guess Snoop Dogg smoked a little weed. I would say Cheech and Chong, but you guys don't know the reference. You're too young. Thoughts on sub-maximal? Yeah, you should probably do less than 1 rep maxes for hypertrophy. I don't think is that a real question? Is HRT considered being on gear? Depends on the person. I would say no, because you're not going to gain more muscle than you would have at your prime. So I'm going with no, but lots of people get upset and say yes. If you're in the normal range, it's not doing anything, honestly, in terms of compared to a natural, because you're in the normal range. And then people will still pull down, what about a high dose to put you high normal? Oh, you're going to gain 1 more pound of muscle over the next 3 years. That's it. So, no, I'm just saying your point that gear plays well, no, because think about why. Think about what happens with a forced rep. So if you reached muscle failure, why do you reach muscle failure? Lively. This is not a controversial topic. This is basic sports science, how the body works. Why do you reach muscle failure with a weight? So let's say you're doing an 8 rep set and you fail the 9th rep. Why did you fail the 9th rep? Biologically, what happened in the muscle that caused it? No. Fatigue is too general. Specifically, what fatigued? That's way too vague. The fast twitch muscle fibers, right? Because if you can lift a weight more than 5 reps, the fast twitch fibers were probably not involved in the first rep at all. It's intermediate fibers, okay? Usually around the last 5 to 6 reps before failure, the fast twitch fibers are being utilized to move the weight because the intermediate fibers can't do it anymore. All right. So your fast twitch muscle fibers are fatigued. You fail the rep, right? You cannot recruit them anymore. So if you do a forced rep or you do rest pause, those fast twitch fibers are still not firing again for at least 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. They're not going to reactivate. So your forced reps are all what? Intermediate fibers, right? That's what the forced reps are. The same thing with rest pause, the same thing with a drop set. You're using the intermediate fibers. Do intermediate fibers grow in advanced lifters? Only from steroids. This is why the longer you train, you get more and more diminished returns. Your more intermediate to slow twitch fibers stop growing. Like your slow twitch fibers stop growing within a few weeks, right? Most of your intermediate grow less and less and less in the subsequent months. And usually, about the time you've been training hard, about 3 years, they're really not growing very much, if at all. So that's the only fibers you're using. Now, if they get a new dose exposure to a new drug or a higher hormonal environment, they'll start growing in response to those drugs. See what I mean? So in that context, yeah, forced reps and stuff like that can stimulate growth on a new cycle of steroids or drugs. But if you've been sitting at hormonal homeostasis for a while, they're not growing anymore just because you stimulate them. All right. Gear's not overrated. What do you mean? Gear works. You're getting into a philosophy touched. To say that something is overrated is not true. Clearly not overrated. It clearly works. Now, am I saying there's anything wrong with your philosophy? No. Your philosophy is sound. But to use the word overrated, that would not be the correct term in this context. So lively, good explanation, Coach. Thank you. You're welcome. That's the problem with intensity techniques. That's why they really only work when you're on a new cycle of drugs. Like if you're off cycle or you're natural or you're cruising between cycles, there's no point in doing intensity techniques. They're not adding any muscle. Like anything beyond failure, probably not doing anything. Back, the last rep before failure is probably the last thing that's causing anything growth. Muscle failure itself doesn't really. I'm on a generous replacement dose. I'm on 200 milligrams a test set, since you asked. Which is, anyone who's on gear is laughing, like, yeah, that doesn't really count. And other people who don't know anything about drugs, oh, that counts a lot. It's like, it's not a lot. It puts me at basically the levels I had as a 16-year-old, pretty much. I have the testosterone of a 16-year-old. All right. I mean, it works, I agree. I don't know who Togi is, and I don't care. I keep seeing that name, I'm not interested. Like, why do you think about that guy instead of thinking about the millions of people who use steroids? Why single out one weird YouTuber? I mean, it works, I agree. So here's another context. You do realize pretty much every single fitness influencer you were following on here is on steroids, whether they admit it or not. So how about there's your context? So, you know, let's keep it real, guys. How you doing, Jim? The president of the HOA just rode by. He lives on my street, I know him. All right. I don't know if he's an average kid. No, I don't really, I keep seeing the name. But so why are you saying he's the average case? I'm just saying, I know hundreds of steroid users personally. Nothing wrong with gear. Something wrong with the person, right? So guys, could you guys tell me real quick what he means by Togi? I know people keep mentioning him, and as some negative context. I've never looked him up. His name comes up a lot in the streams. I've never seen him. So I don't know actually who he is. I just know he's a YouTuber. There is no average case. Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. Steroid use is ubiquitous in the lifting world. So to say something like an average case sounds like a really weird statement. I don't know if there is an average case. Honestly, the average case is probably some skinny 19-year-old is your average steroid user, to be fair. There's like probably 50 million of them around the world. But I mean, all your fitness influencers you follow, they're all on steroids, like all of them, pretty much, whether they admit it or not. It's pretty ubiquitous. It's just what it is. At a minimum, a generous replacement dose. It's always been the business to just use gear and claim natural. It's a financially profitable business model on the internet. And it has been a long time, right? It is what it is. You're not going to change that. And you can deny it. And if you won't deny it, that's your business. Hey, more power to you. But I'm not going to humor the idea personally. I'm just going to just call it like it is. What's up, Matthias? How you doing, man? How are you doing, brother? Man, this has been a good, lively stream in terms of views. I almost feel like I should keep it going just a little bit until we start getting connection issues. The views were hitting at like 50 at one point. They stayed pretty high. He's a young YouTuber, 22-year-olds really shouldn't be using gear. Hardcore gambling, I can't really read the screen. He got heart failure. Yeah, dude, I can tell you right now, heart failure from gear use is exceptionally rare. He had a lot of other factors happening then. From just steroids, pretty unlikely, especially at that age. Sorry, I just know too many 60 and 70-year-olds who've been on steroids for 40 years who never had a heart attack. So that definitely doesn't seem like the average user. You sure he's not a fat guy who does cocaine and stuff? Right? That's been my experience. All the younger guys I know who had heart attacks with gear use were all cokeheads, by the way. They all partied really hard. That's the combo that's really gotten most of the guys I've seen. Heavy anabolic use plus coke has been my experience of having decades in this game, being around all this. That's been my experience of that's who's having those heart attacks young. Right? Yeah, cocaine. He does. Yeah, so that's what it is. Touched. He's doing coke with his steroids. It's like you can't drink alcohol with steroids. Like your liver is done. And that's not my opinion. That's the research. So if you look at the studies on anadrol, they found even high doses of anadrol in men in their 50s for therapeutic reasons only slightly elevated liver enzymes until they had 1 to 2 drinks a week. And then it just shot sky high, like deadly level. So it's the same thing. Like if you're going to use oral anabolics and you choose to drink alcohol, even in moderation, don't cry when it kills you. Right? Because the research says it will. The research says your liver is screwed. Like having 1 or 2 drinks a week while on oral anabolics is deadly. Not my opinion. That's studies. I don't know if the Togi guy died. He's just mentioning him. He's talking. How are we getting so many views in this? This is just kind of cray-cray. I guess because I picked up so many subscribers and these streams are doing really well. Like I still need to get in and do my bike one, but I'm kind of like, man, I'm already past the hour because of my Facebook for the walk, but we're just getting some strong little views, right? Almost no likes, so get those likes up, guys. I know it's been hitting 50 consistently. I'm kind of curious what the end's gonna be. And like I said, I still need to get my bike stuff done. But yeah, be a nice little productive stream. By the way, guys, I need to link my I can't link my Amazon link in here. I've been trying to see if fans will kick Coach some more protein. I'm trying not to buy subs because my fans will buy them. I'm getting low on protein powder. I'll end up doing it if nobody does. But I added that cookies and cream and everything. But no, it's all good, guys. The perks of being an influencer, and I hate that term, right? Don't you guys hate that term, influencer? Let's call it content creator, right? The influencer is such a pretentious term. Like, no, every time I hear the term, and I've had someone say, well, I mean, Coach, you're technically an influencer. I'm like, I feel like I need to go buy a bunch of sparkling mineral water to flush my toilet with. Like, because if you're an influencer, you're too good for regular toilet water. You got to flush it with sparkling, like some Perrier water or something, some Pellegrino or something to flush your poop down. Because you're just that special. The term is so pretentious. Like, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I feel like I almost need the mineral water just to wash the taste out of my mouth when I say the term influencer, right? Like, God, when people call themselves that, it's pretentious, isn't it? Right? It is. It's just pretentious. I've been away the last couple of days, so I didn't notice. Yeah. Oh, man. It just is. Like, it's cringe. It is a cringy term. So how about we don't use it? And I just call myself a coach. I'm a virtual coach. Or at the most extreme, fitness content creator, right? Content creator. Influencer. It is, dude. It's so cringy. I can't say it with a straight face, right? Coach is a real job influencer. True. Coaching. One of my consultation from one of the streams, a guy did one of the $100 consults. I get 20 minutes in. I'm like, look, dude, let me just offer you a deal on coaching. Like, you'd be an easy client. I can fix all this. And we came to an agreement, and he bought a 3-month package. He already got started. It's just, yeah. I end up selling a fair amount of those consultations in these streams with guys who have certain questions. And then I get them in there, and every now and then they turn into a client, and he did. It was just like, dude, he would be so easy. His situation was so easy to fix. I'm just like, dude, give me 3 months of coaching, and I'll just resolve all of this. Was it lagging? Well, the views stayed high. I should probably start heading back towards the house, though, just in case. Plus, it's getting hard to read the screen. Yeah, the views have been good in here. I'm going to be curious to see what the stream does on the total views at the end. Even though the likes have been low. I'm probably going to head back to the house, so this is a long enough walk, because I did train. I did a lot of arm work today, too. I did bench press and dips today, all for sets of 8. Because my back just wasn't feeling like loading anything, so I just skipped all that and just did a bunch of reverse hypers, supersetted it with the chins. Like, I just wanted traction on my back. But again, keep in mind, I'm doing full body for like 5 days a week right now. Any advice on dealing with the bicep tendon flaring up? Banded curls. MN, go look at my shorts, type in banded curls. Curls with mini bands. Absolutely work wonders for bicep tendon inflammation. In fact, I did 2 sets today at the end of my workout. The vlog's not going to be up for a few hours though. So I did them today. Dude, they will, they'll work wonders. So get you some mini bands and do high rep banded curls, like minimum 20 rep sets with them, right? It works wonders for bicep tendon inflammation. Like, I promise you, like, if you have it right now, you'll go do a set, and then 30 seconds after the set, you're going to be like, oh my God, it stopped hurting. You'll be like sending me money. Like, seriously, you go try it, you go do it, and you'll come back and you'll be like sending me super chats when the pain completely disappears. So go give it a try, dude. I'm just joking. You don't have to send me money. All right. But yeah, mini bands. So I'll have some footage up of me doing them today. In fact, if you look in the thumbnail of this one, it's a screenshot from doing them today. So I do like sets of about 25, 26 to failure with that Rogue Red band. You may want to start with a Rogue Orange. The Elite FTS bands will work too. But basically mini bands, like powerlifting mini bands that we use for powerlifting purposes and speed work. They work wonders. And the same thing if your elbow's hurt, you're starting to get elbow tendonitis, press downs for high reps with the bands. Works wonders. Do you train every day? Right now I do Monday through Friday, but I leave the option to take days off with the full body. I only did 4 days last week. I'm gonna do 5 this week. But I am having to watch the axial fatigue a little. Like today I went to deadlift. It's been my 4th day in a row because I've squatted or deadlifted every day. And I went to warm up on the deadlift and I just couldn't pull. Like I went to warm up with 405 and it felt like 550 on the bar. I'm like, I'm not doing rows and I'm not doing deadlifts today. So I just did a bunch of reverse hypers and then I did weighted chins in place of the rows. And I did supersets with those, and then I just did my normal stuff. I benched first. So then I just did dips and a bunch of curls and some rear delts, and I called it a day, you know. Nothing was crazy heavy. I just did a bunch of high rep pause bench with 245. Same thing, all my weighted chins and weighted dips were just full range of motion with pauses with just a single 45-pound plate. So I mean, nothing crazy today. Do you train so what's going on, Dean? You're catching me right near the end. This is well over an hour because I did Facebook. How you doing, Dean? Man. But I'm about to wind this down and head inside. I'm gonna get a shower. Yesterday, 85 in the UK. Man, it must be nice. It's more than that right now. I bet you it's 90 something out here. All right, guys, I'm about to wind it down. I'm pretty much home, and I'll do another bike one here for you later for you guys. All right, I only have one. No, Dean, I'm gonna do a bike one here later on here. Right, so there'll be more. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. I don't know, should I really end it? There's a lot of viewers. Man, yeah, I need to end it. I'll do another.